It's been 20 years since Arsenal Football Club lifted the Premier League title. That year, 2004, it was the Invincible. This time, no Invincible, but can Mikel Arteta and his men get past the finish line ahead of Manchester City? For Manchester City, they're looking to create their own history. 4 consecutive Premier League titles. The showdown is at the Emirates and, of course, at the Etihad. 19th of May, it is the day. What a day it is for Arsenal on Manchester City. With that, I welcome you to another exciting edition of Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyebolise. I'm sure you had a fantastic sporting weekend and your week has started on a fantastic note. We have so much in store for you today, from the home front to the European scene. And guess what? It is also a big weekend in the world of boxing. The first time in 25 years we'll be seeing a unification bout in the heavyweight division. It is, of course, a loaded show. Sports Pizza is the name of the show. If you're joining us for the very first time, my name is Edwin. I am the host. Together I'll be doing it with my guy, Abe David. I'll be introducing him right after this break. Don't change that channel. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is still Sports Pizza. Edwin and David in the building. David, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Yeah, hello Edwin. It's a pleasure to be here as always, but my mood right now is pensive because of what's Arsenal and Manchester City are putting us through. A title race that like one we have never seen in a long time, and I think it's good for the Premier League. But as an Arsenal fan, it's really difficult, because you can't enjoy victories. It's been a long time I've enjoyed an Arsenal. We just keep waiting for the next, so hoping for Manchester City to. I've not hit watch football in a long time, but I'm actually doing it this season. My brother is a Manchester City fan. He doesn't let me have any sleep. So, but I think it's good for the Premier League. We're waiting for the final day of the season to see where it swings.
All right, we'll get to that in the course of the show. Let's start from home. As always, I like saying charity begins at home. The camp for the Super Eagles, the World Cup qualifiers will be open on the 1st of June. And it is a double header, South Africa and Benin Republic. Remember, the Super Eagles are third on the table, 2 points from 2 games. Rwanda topped the standing, 4 points. South Africa second. But David, what are your expectations going into this World Cup qualifiers? The Super Eagles cannot afford to drop points in both games.
Yeah, absolutely. So my expectations, first, I want to see how the players Finidi George is going to invite his first competitive set of fixtures. The players will there be any notable inclusions, surprise exclusions, things like that. I've been hearing of Tosin Adarabioyo. I don't know if those rumors are true, but that would be a good addition to the Super Eagles defense. But I want to see how Finidi goes into their non-negotiables. They need to win those games. Is he going to set up a team that is going to be cagey like his predecessor did during the Nations Cup, to get results, or is he going to go out and try to, exploit the best of the attacking talents we have? So we're looking forward to see. But we know 2 things must be: win against South Africa, win against Benin Republic. Get 6 points, 8 points. Put us, in a good position in the group, and then moving forward, hopefully we get qualification tickets.
All right, we're wishing the Super Eagles all the very best as we draw closer to those qualifiers. We'll give you all of the latest tidbits, news, and information that you need. All right, away from the senior national team, we're still sticking with the national team. This time, the under-17. It is the WAFU under-17B championship. The Golden Eaglets will be flying out to Ghana. The competition starts this weekend. And the coach, Manu Gaba, has released his team list. A couple of exciting players. We failed to qualify for the last under-17 World Cup because we failed to progress for the AFCON. But this time, the WAFU B stands as a precursor to the African Cup of Nations. We need to get past this. But as always with Nigeria, preparation very despicable. Is that the right word?
Yes, it's surely preparation. Fire brigade approach as usual. The fact that Manigaba was actually appointed like a few weeks ago, knowing the tournament starts, this week. So I think a lot of things went. Then we also had the drama of the MRI. I don't know why we keep having MRI issues. Other nations have advanced. When you have a proper database and you're able to track players' progress from maybe under 13, or under 15, under 17, you don't need to go back to MRIs. You already have a clear progression plan. But we are here. We are. He invited 19 players, he's taking them to Ghana. Hopefully they get, we are the defending champions of the WAFU, but it's a regional tournament, so it's just a precursor to the main AFCON. In the last AFCON, we came third. We couldn't get the qualification tickets to the World Cup. And I think hopefully they can set the right tone win this waffle, get to the AFCON, also go as far as they can and get a World Cup ticket, and also a chance to win our 6th World Cup title.
All right, away from the national team this time, let's do a bit of club football. We're not doing the NPFL, still on break. Rivers United playing their outstanding games. It is the NNL. The Super 8, there's a new date. It was supposed to be the 23rd to the 30th of May, but now it has been postponed to the 7th down to the 14th of June. And the reason for the postponement is down to the Federation's Cup round of 32. So that is the latest from the NNL Super 8. Before we wrap up the local scene, David, take us through a Nigerian player scorecard.
Absolutely. So this is a weekend for the women. The women really shown like a million stars. We had Christy Uchebe, the Super Falcons winger for Benfica. She joined Benfica in 2020 and she has won the league title in every season she has been. So 4 titles on the bounce. It's a good one for her. We also had Chuba Akpom. You know, I've had a lot of love for that player since when he broke out from the Arsenal Academy alongside Alex Iwobi. But Alex Iwobi got the Super Eagles invitation. Chuba Akpom didn't get it, probably because, you know, he doesn't have an uncle who is a Super Eagles legend. But, you know, a good one for Ajax. He has been very instrumental to their revival. At the point in time, Ajax said they were actually going to head to relegation, but they found their way and they're now in with the chance of qualifying for you, which is really remarkable. So I think those 2 players actually, and also Rashida Tajibade also, you know, she was made Super Falcons captain and she has stepped up. You know, the fact that she was named, you know, April Player of the Month for Atletico Femenino, and also she won the February and the March edition. So 3 awards, Player of the Month in a row, which is a good one for her. Hopefully she's taking good form into the Olympics come July.
All right, that's about you can take on the local scene this time. We'll go into other sports. And we're starting with tennis. Novak Djokovic knocked out the Italian Open in Rome in straight sets. But that is, maybe yes, it made headlines, but that is not our focus on the show today. Because David Djokovic will be going to Roland Garros without playing in any finals in 2024. Is this a sign that perhaps the decline of Novak Djokovic has begun?
Well, we've been here a few times before talking about Djokovic's decline, but he has found a way to respond to, you know, all the, you know, talk about his decline. I think he's probably going to find a way again. You know, the great players, they always have a way of, you know, turning up when it matters the most. And I think you know, he has a lot of experience to count upon. Fine, he has not had the best of 2024, but I think knowing what is at stake and knowing a chance to, you know, win another Grand Slam and also put his name very high up on the echelons of tennis, I think he will find his way, he will find his level as usual, and I think he will have a good Roland Garros.
This weekend in Saudi Arabia, it is the big one, the first undisputed heavyweight fight in 25 years. The last time it happened was in 1999, November, Evander Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis. And Lennox Lewis, yes, became undisputed heavyweight champion. History once again beckons in Saudi Arabia on the 18th of May. This Saturday, Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Unbeaten, both sides. For Usyk, he's been undisputed, but it was at the cruiserweight level. Stepped up to heavyweight, defeated our own Nigerian, British Anthony Joshua. For Tyson Fury, who can forget that trilogy with Deontay Wilder getting the WBC belt, which a lot of boxing fans will tell you, it is the biggest, most significant belt in the conversation of boxing. But this time, like I said, he wants to add the WBO, IBF, WBA titles to his WBC. For Usyk, he wants that coveted WBC belt. How do you see this playing out? Maybe over 12 rounds, maybe knockouts?
Oh yeah, I think it will go the distance because both fighters are able to mix and match. You know, I think for all of Fury's power, he's also a very technical boxer. You know, he's very underrated in his technique. He's able to go, you know, the distance. And I think for Usyk, it's been a very remarkable journey for him, stepping up from cruiserweight to heavyweight. And I think it's one of the lightest heavyweight. In terms, you know, heavyweights are usually known for their bulk, but he chose to remain at, you know, his cruiserweight size, and but he's able to use his power and his speed. You know, so that speed is the advantage he has over most of the heavyweights in this category. So I think it's going to go the distance. It's going to be 12 rounds, I think. But I think Usyk will find a way to overturn.
I think a lot of people underrate Usyk's height.
Yeah.
and strength.
Yeah.
And where I think they get it wrong is comparing him with Tyson Fury's size.
Yeah.
Now, let me compare you with one of the greatest heavyweight boxers, George Foreman. Same height with George Foreman,
Yeah.
6'3",
Yeah.
same
Build.
weight with George Foreman in his prime. So while we can talk about Tyson Fury's height and weight and mass and all that, Usyk is not a light heavyweight.
He's not.
He's a top heavyweight, and like you said, both boxers have good boxing brain, both technically sound, and we expect them to give us a spectacle this weekend. Of course, next week when we come back, we'll do a proper review of the fight. Let's go on a break. Catch your breath. I'm sure you're having fun with us. Sports Pizza is the name of the show. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms and hit the like button on YouTube. When we come back, we'll delve straight into football. This time we're starting. Where are we starting, David? Old Trafford?
Old Trafford, yeah.
Or Craven Cottage?
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. Welcome back. This is the second half of the show, Sports Pizza. Edwin and David still in the building. David, let's head straight to Old Trafford. Like you said, Arsenal got the job done.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best performance, but again, at this point of the season, it is results over performance.
Absolutely. So I think the imperative for that game was get the 3 points and then take it to the final game. That was the most important thing. However, we were going to do it. I think Manchester United surprised Arsenal at the way they came out from the first 15 minutes. They came out of the blocks. Garnacho getting some space, and they tried to take the game to Arsenal, but probably the problems that United have had this season in terms of their attack, they've not been firing on us. They only have 50-something goals this season, compared to last season. So I think that was where Arsenal were not really troubled. I said it that if Arsenal had a tougher opposition, probably the defenders would have raised their games, but the mistakes we saw from some of the defenders would have not been there. So I think Arsenal did what they needed to do. They showed the quality that they have. They didn't create the most chances, but when they got the one that Trossard got, I keep saying that Trossard is the best finisher that Arsenal have in that squad. They have 17 goals this season. So I think he got the opportunity, scored, and then Arsenal controlled the game from there.
Do you think Arsenal ran the risk of dropping points with that approach?
No, absolutely. I think they did, but I think Manchester United did not do enough to trouble them at the end of the day. I think probably if they had gone against a team like Manchester City or a Liverpool or maybe a stronger side with that kind of approach, there's a possibility they would have dropped points in that game. But because it was Manchester United, they didn't trouble them enough.
Okay, Arsenal, Man City, final day. From an Arsenal fan's perspective, do you think nerves will get to the players on the final day?
No, I don't think so. Not this season, and not when you have.
They haven't been in this position before.
Yeah, absolutely.
This group of players haven't been this close to winning the title.
Yeah, I think so. But I think they've learned some of the lessons. This process has been a process of over 4 or 5 years of Arteta's reign at the club. People tend to forget that he has actually, when he came, he said we are setting a process and we have to trust the process. So I think the process has led them here. All the tumbles along the way. They missed out on Champions League by 3 points to Tottenham, losing 3 games in a row a few years ago. They also missed out on the league last season by capitulating at the most important period. But I think all those lessons will come together, and I think will help them. Considering the fact that it's just a win against Everton and hope for the best, I think they will do enough, and the nerves will not get to them.
It is 27 wins for Arsenal in the league. Yes. It's a Premier League record. Arteta said, "Hey, this is not a record. This is history." And he detailed how the team has grown in the last couple of years. Do you think him winning the Premier League title with Arsenal this season, you think he might jump ship to maybe Bayern Munich, who are looking out for a manager?
No, I don't think so. I think Arteta, from the moment he stepped into the club, even as a player when he came into the club, he was one of the shortest serving players that actually went on to become captain. So I think he fell in love with the club immediately, and when the opportunity to manage the club came along, Arsenal took a gamble on it. People tend to forget, he was not without, he had never managed before, and then Arsenal took a gamble on it, and that gamble has eventually, paid off, and I think it's paying off. He has not paid off fully, but it's paying off, and I think he will win. If he wins the league this season, he will still want to stay on and continue this process, to see where he takes it as far as he can take it. I think the Champions League is still within his sights also. I think he's not going to jump ship yet.
All right, for Manchester City, they've been here before, they've seen it, they've done it. Liverpool can testify to that. If it goes on to win 4 consecutive Premier League titles, do you think Guardiola will be regarded as the best the Premier League has ever seen?
No, I don't think so. I think there's still one big shadow that will still cast.
100 points, most goals scored, goals difference. The first manager to do the treble in England. I'm talking about the domestic treble, the league, the FA Cup and the League Cup. Do you think all of this added to 5 league titles?
I think that's the 5 league titles. Somebody has won 13. That's a big deal. So I think Ferguson is still the standard bearer for managers. I think he will be way ahead in second, but being the best manager the Premier League has ever seen, as long as Ferguson's shadow still remains, I think it will be difficult. All
right, finally, David, whatever happens this weekend, whatever happens at the end of the season, can you give a summary of Arsenal's 2023-24 season?
Well, I think it's another step in their development as a football club under Mikel Arteta. We've seen them grow in leaps and bounds over the first 3 years were rocky, but the last 2 years have been truly spectacular. They've attained some heights that people really did not give them a chance. So I think they would be disappointed if whatever happens. If they don't win the league, they'll be disappointed. But I think they will take the positives and also build on from it and continue building. It's a process. Some of the players in that squad, the key players in that squad, are below 25. So that's a sign that the next 2-3 years they still have a solid foundation to build up on. So they will just take whatever comes with the disappointment and then they will move forward with it.
All right, we're looking forward to a fantastic weekend. United fans, we're sorry, no Champions League. The chances of playing in Europe, they are the Conference League. Slim, they have City in the FA Cup. You win the FA Cup, you are through to the Europa League. Talking about Champions League, Bologna in the Italian Serie A, history for them, over 5 decades of no European Cup football. Back then it was called the European Cup. Now it's the Champions League after it was rechristened in the 92-93 season. What a fantastic job Thiago Motta has been able to achieve in Bologna.
Absolutely, and I think it's been a long time coming actually. The fact that he has built his career. He had a failed spell at Genoa 2 seasons ago, and then he found his form again. He has been a solid man. The way they play, some of the players are very unfancied players, but he has found a way to build a system, a team that play very exciting and very attractive football, and then they play very good football. They've taken the big teams this season in the Serie A all the way, and I think it's a good one. Hopefully they will not go to the Champions League and then mess up when the level gets too high. But I think they've done remarkably well for this season.
Juventus are also back in the Champions League after missing 1 season. And Atalanta looking good also to qualify. Remember, the Italian Serie A and the German Bundesliga will have 5 representatives. And the current top 5, Inter Milan, as expected, Milan is second, Bologna third, Juventus fourth, and you have Atalanta in 5th position. Remember, Atalanta have this with destiny. It is Atalanta versus Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League final. Talking about Leverkusen, it is 50 games unbeaten.
Remarkable. As in, the numbers just keep rolling, and I think the way the mentality of that team, Xabi Alonso needs to be studied. How he just transformed the mentality of this team from a team that finished outside of European places last season. They came from 16th position, and where they are now is really remarkable what he has achieved. Xabi Alonso is proving that he's really one of the very real deal of the new generation of managers. Hopefully he will go on from here and they will do more remarkable things in the next season. That's
the much we can take on the show today. I'm sure you had fun with us. We gave you all of the latest tidbits, information, and of course top-notch analysis. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms. It is Sports Pizza. We have lovely content on the YouTube page, Sports Pizza. Click, like, and subscribe. We'll leave you with our video for the week. Do enjoy it. My name is Edwin Onyebolisel. I'll see you same time next week.
Yeah, from David is goodbye.
you.